Brothers and sisters, we have a plan. This is Backwards James. Sorry I'm so tame today. It's raining. It's overcast. It's a sad thing. But it's dark in this room too. I mean, it's not like the electricity went out, but it's just dark. Anyways, guys, I want to come on here and say something awesome. So, I've seen a lot of videos around YouTube like this, but I wanted to put in my 2 cents because honestly, the Lord has been urging me the past week or so. And it's really kind of awesome the way it all comes to play whenever there's a revelation that I can share with my brethren. But I want to talk about the still small voice and how you can hear the still small voice, how you can hear the Lord. And oh man, I can see it now. Hopefully I won't get too many thumbs down for this, but I mean, guys, it's the Lord. And even when I come on here, right, and my brethren that come on here and say, "Oh, the Lord told me this, the Spirit said this." I mean, it's a common theme in Christianity, but I don't think it's something that's understood. I think it's a mystical, sort of a confusing subject. I don't think that we speak plain enough. So that's why I'm here, because I am Captain Layman. So I'm going to put things in layman's terms. I'm going to break it down to how I understand, right? So it's not a mystery, guys, and there's nothing mystical going on. There's no magic. There's nothing to be. I know my experience with this phenomena when it comes to others is jealousy. I mean, when I would see the other prophets hearing from the Lord, and I determined that, hey, they really were hearing from the Lord, like, I was jealous. Like, I wanted to hear from the Lord. Why are they hearing from the Lord and I'm not hearing from the Lord? I mean, what's going on? Well, the truth is, guys, you already have heard from the Lord. You have been hearing from the Lord since you were a little baby, since you were a child. That's when it started, and it hasn't stopped up until now. And that's not just for spiritual people. That's not just for Christians. That is for every man, woman, and child. Okay? The potential is there to be a prophet for every man, woman, and child. Okay? So I'll start off like that and just tell you the potential is there already. Christ is with you already. He's inside you already. He's been speaking to you already. The thing is, you may or may not be able to hear. And this is something that you need to learn how to do. And it's awesome. Now, I'm going to give you the surefire way to do this. Okay? It's a path of discovery, so you will find out about yourself. Okay, if you try this. But discovering if you're a prophet or not, discovering if you can hear the still small voice, discovering if God is speaking to you, and also listening to the messages. Okay, that's step 2, which maybe we'll get to it. But step 1 is to know thyself. Okay, know thyself. The Lord promises. He says, those seeking me will find me. So don't get mad about not receiving words from the Lord or not being a modern day prophet, if you're not seeking the Lord in the first place. If you're seeking the Lord, well, continue to seek. The promises those seeking will find. So I hope this blesses you. So what you should do if you want to find out if it's you is it's not an exercise and meditation per se. It's a way of life, okay? It's something that you can't really do one time, okay? There's no quick fix. It is an undertaking. I mean, how long did it take for Bruce Lee to become Bruce Lee? How long did it take for Goku to master Kaioken? You know what I'm saying? It is like a process. You're not going to be a prize fighter right out of the gate. It's something that's going to take practice. But then, like I hear videos about practicing, you talk about eating, you talk about diet, you talk about that's real good. But I'm just going to kind of explain this, I'm going to talk about the antithesis. The opposite of hearing from the Lord would be hearing from the demons, and that's what I'm accused of by the church. I tell my pastors, hey, Pastor, God's got a message for you that he told me. Well, I'm accused right away. Oh, you're hearing from the devils. It's nothing but demons. And that's fear speaking. That's doubt speaking. That's the unknown. When you're looking into the dark and you don't really know what to think, when somebody says there's been a miracle, the tendency is unbelief. But then ask yourself, was the tendency unbelief when the Lord walked? Sure it was. They didn't believe when they heard. Even when the disciples themselves heard the Lord was risen, did they doubt? Sure they did. They didn't believe the women. And it's my understanding that the majority of those hearing from the Lord are women. Why? Well, we'll get into it. So the antithesis would be, I'm going to give you an example. My uncle, okay, he's the kind of person where just looking at him, he's never come out and told me, but just looking at him, his behavior, he's one of these people that doesn't like the sound of his own thoughts at night. When it gets too quiet for him, he gets uncomfortable. So he turns on the radio, and he turns on the television, and he starts texting, and he starts calling, and he starts doing anything to avoid that silence. Okay? So right away, he is snuffing out his potential to hear from the Lord. Because you will meet your true self, whether you be a prophet or not. You will meet your true self in the silence, in that silence that my uncle runs from. And I'm sure, you may be a person like this yourself, or you may have a friend that you know that's like that. They don't like it to be quiet. Even when they're studying, they got to have on a radio or television. It's just the noise of this world, okay? So if you want to find out your true self, if you want to find out if God is speaking to you and to hear the voice, what you need to do is separate yourself. Separate yourself from the group. Turn off everything. Turn off the noise of the world. Make it so silent that your thoughts, they become loud, you see. Whatever it is that you find yourself meditating on, this is the reflection of your true self. When you turn off all the noise, when you cut off your cell phone, and you're not going to allow interruptions for at least an hour, maybe two. Don't fidget. Get comfortable and don't eat anything. And also don't go to sleep. This is another thing that happens. So another reason why people give you that excuse for needing to have a radio on or needing to watch TV or needing to text on their phone is because it's boring otherwise. Okay, and my relative has a funny saying, people that get bored are boring, okay? When you enter into the secret place, which is the silent place, the separated, set-apart place, when you go to this secret place to find the Lord, and yet what do you find? You find your pillow, you find yourself falling asleep, you find yourself fidgeting, and you're not able to really deal. Well, this is because you have no practice, you see. Now, how did I stumble upon this knowledge? Another good way to find out how to reflect and find that secret place where God is to be an outcast, be ostracized. I first met the Lord when I was 13 years old. I had a surgery on my right leg, and I was in a full leg cast for 6 months or more. And all my friends and all my buddies, they were doing them, but I was doing me by myself. I would always be by myself, reading or doing whatever. I became a real big nerd in high school because, behind that injury. And over the years, I was accustomed to separating myself. Like right now, I'm on my lunch break. My coworkers, they're downstairs. Me, I'm in a training room talking to my cell phone because I love it. Guys, I've been doing it for so long. It's become a way of life where I separate myself and I'm always alone, and that's how I have developed this skill, this ability to hear God, the still small voice. Now, there are people that are in this situation. You're secluded. You're by yourself, and you're not by yourself, and you're not secluded on your own by your own choice. Okay, that's a good way to stumble into this reflection, this secret place. But the thing is, there's two steps. Okay, so when you separate yourself and you get silent and you find the secret place, now you're going to discover, hey, is God there, or what is there? Do you fall asleep, or do you find yourself thinking about worldly things? Do you find yourself thinking about anxieties and worries? Do you find yourself thinking about things that are unpleasant? Whatever it is that you find in that secret place, please know that you have been developing this subconsciously for years. That's your true self. The thing that you find yourself talking about all the time, the thing that you find yourself thinking about all the time, that you will discover in this secret place. Okay? And if it's not God, fine. What must you do? Well, again, the Lord says those seeking him will find. Okay, so the potential is there for every single person, but at the same time, there has to be a catalyst. Okay, you have to feed the need. Okay, now, guys, if you're seeking the face of the Lord, please tell me, where will you find the Lord? Where can you do some research on Jesus? Where can you familiarize yourself with Jesus and the teachings of Jesus? There's so many people on YouTube that are out here talking about this spiritual thing. But they also say, look, the Spirit has taken over. There's no need to read Bibles anymore. Please tell me where you're going to find the teachings of Jesus aside from the Bible. Please tell me that. Okay, like I said, you have to feed the need. Seek his face. Now, this isn't the introspection, right? So when you're outward, when you're doing everything outwardly, right, you have to go seek the Lord outwardly. Go look for him in a book, the new book of the Bible. This is what I endorse, trumpetcallofgod.com. Okay, free PDF download. That's a good source to do some searching for Jesus. If you're looking for the Lord's face, check out trumpetcallofgod.com. Another thing that you can do is get right on YouTube and listen to the words from the Lord. Listen to the online prophets. Listen to the online ministry. Do what you normally do, okay? But if you wish to hear for yourself, you must put down your cell phone. You must put down YouTube. You must put down the Bible even. Go pray, okay? But even if you're not praying, you separate yourself and you meditate, you think, you be quiet and you be still. You don't fall asleep, you don't eat anything, you don't fidget, don't find yourself worrying about things. Focus on God, think of God. Now this is the thing that's funny about that. Okay, when you discover what kind of person you are, say maybe you just love race cars, you know. When you're in your secret place, you find yourself thinking about race cars or train tracks or whatever, zip lines or whatever it is, tools, video games, whatever it is. If it's not God, it's an idol, and you need to get rid of it. Okay? The idols are dead in themselves. So if you find out that you're all about this dead thing, well, you've become like the idol. Okay? Everyone's going to have to find their potential in God. Every single person, in order to make it, in order to live on the new heaven and the new earth, everyone's going to have to be a prophet. Everyone's going to have to hear from God. So God is going to come and destroy the world. He's going to destroy all of our devices. He's going to take away our comfortable way of life here in the States. And he's going to make us reflect. He's going to make us be silent. He's going to make us reflect. And then we will discover ourselves. But before that day has come, let us study and show ourselves approved. If you're seeking God's face, do it now. Okay? Study now. Show yourself approved now. Seek the face of the Lord now. And don't wait for the day when everyone's going to have to. On the days of darkness, when God turns over the natural world, there will only be a few people praising the Lord because they have found the Lord already. They will be praising from their secret place. They will be praising everywhere. Okay? But the ones who have not developed this skill, they will be worried, they will be anxious, their hearts will fail them for fear because their object of meditation was an idol. God is not an idol. If you find God in the secret place, he will speak to you from that secret place. When you finally discover him, when you get in your quiet place and look, God is there. Well, then from that secret place, he will actually start speaking to you. He'll do little stuff to prove that it's him because he knows your thoughts already. He knows your heart. He knows that we have the tendency to doubt ourselves. So God himself will send you little clues and he will actually confirm that, yes, you are hearing from the Lord directly. Now, again, I tell you, ever since you were a little baby, the Lord has always been there. He's the truth. He's the truth inside you. Some people call it a conscience. When you turn off everything and you sit there and you start thinking about the day and maybe you had a sin that you committed, your conscience is eating at you, or you're thinking about a conversation that you had, that's the Lord. The Lord has perfect recall. He is a witness to your entire life from the beginning to the end. He was even there before you, while you were being formed in your mother's womb. Okay? The Lord has perfect recall. Well, from your subconscious and from your personal thoughts, the things that you have inside you, the Lord will actually start to minister to you. Now again, guys, this is not something that you're going to go home and do because you heard James backwards and you're going to go try this out. Again, this is a lifestyle. The message, the way that God speaks to me, it's a culmination of years. Different events that happen over years, and when I put them all together, it makes a picture. Okay, that's the same way that you can read the Bible and understand the Bible. If you are picking and choosing scriptures, well, you're not going to understand. But if you look at Genesis through Revelation as a whole, as a completed puzzle, well, then you'll see the picture. But if you're trying to pick and choose your way through the scriptures, no wonder you say that the Bible is not from God. No wonder you say that the Bible is obsolete. It's the 666. There's a lot of garbage on YouTube where people are hating on the Bible because you just simply don't understand. Look at the entire picture. You can see the forest for the trees. See the forest, not the trees. So anyways, guys, I want to come on here and just throw that out there, bless you a little bit. Hopefully it's a blessing for you. And if you already hear the still small voice, maybe you can sound off on other little things that you do that help you to hear the Lord. But if you're not hearing from the Lord, then it's not the Lord, it's you. What you need to do is seek his face, pray, study, and then turn off the world by any means necessary. What did I do? I cut off my cable at the house. And at first, my little girl, my wife, they were up in arms about it. But we've been living without cable for about a year. Not only is it good for bills, it's just good for your soul. Turn off that noise of the world. And then when you enter your house, instead of Satan waiting on you to give you all kinds of bad advice, the Lord will minister to you from inside your heart because you have found time for him. You have made room for him. Okay? So I love you guys. Obama's going to get 3 terms. The second seal is open. Anytime you see Donald Trump on television, it is for entertainment purposes only. Okay, and you got to think, why all these commercials? Why is Obama so weird? Because he is the guy. That's coming from the Lord. Again, new book of the Bible, trumpetcallofgod.com. But Obama is the means by which the Lord will judge the United States. So here, if he's a lame duck and his tenure is coming to an end here, well, the judgment better get started, right? The judgment, where is it? Yeah, there's a lot of bad things that have happened. Yeah, his presidency has been bad, but we're looking forward to Obama going away And when Obama doesn't go away, that's going to be a very sad song for whoever's interested. And then look out, guys. Don't fall into the riots. Don't fall into the emotional response like you did with 9/11, like we all did. When the two towers fell, we were emotional, right? So if Obama gets 3 terms, are you going to be emotional about it? You go and get a rifle and take to the streets and start World War III with a pocket knife and a pea shooter? Please don't do that. Seek the Lord. Seek understanding from the Lord. Seek your peace and solace from the Lord, because there's a lot of things that are on the horizon, guys. There's a lot of things that we didn't expect that they are coming, and it will happen. So I'm James Backwards, and I love you to death, and hope to see you up on Mount Zion. Another thing that I learned about heaven. Do you know what they do in heaven 24/7 without ceasing? Praise. All they do in heaven is praise God. So do you want to go to heaven? Do you want to be a prophet? Do you want to hear the still small voice? Then fill up your life with the praise of the Lord. Only associate with those that praise his name constantly. You come on this channel, what do? I'm speaking about God. I'm keeping company with those that speak about God. And we have already are in heaven of sorts, because that's what they do in heaven. All they do is holy, 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 holy. They praise the Lord 24/7. So it is with the saints. I love you guys, and I'm going to get off and go back to my life at work.